Hey, what's going on, guys? Let's get into our picks for the day. 4-game slate. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of these games, and here's why. Good teams playing against tanking teams. Rockets are playing the Wizards. Celtics are playing the Bucks. Nuggets are playing the Jazz. And then the Warriors and Clippers game is kind of the only meh one. But let's get into it. So, Wizards-Rockets. Personally, I like Will Riley as of right now, but Will Riley doesn't seem to be on this thing. So if Will Riley's line comes in, his rebound line's at 3.5, take it forward. His minutes have been like 26 to 30 minutes recently off the bench. He literally finished the game for him the other day. I'm not the biggest fan of his point line, but his rebound line I do like. But we're taking today Coulibaly. Been playing really well. Been playing really well. His minutes are there, production's there, and he shoots the ball at a fairly efficient clip. The only thing for me on this one, the reason I really like this pick, is obviously the Wizards have had an interesting year with who they've played, who they haven't played. They're in tank mode right now, so like Sarr is out. But check this out. If we pull out Alex Sarr from the stats and Cam Whitmore, who are both out for the game, we're covering this line 7 out of 8 times. A lot of the scoring. Washington's an interesting team when they have everybody healthy, because everyone can kind of score the ball. Roles aren't truly defined, but with Sarr, Whitmore, with a lot of their original starters out, obviously prepping for next year, a lot of the guys are getting more minutes. So I like Bilal's line right here. 7 out of 8 times, it's a 10-point line. You're a starter. I like any starter to score 10 points, especially with that usage being up. The only concern I potentially have would be his minutes, but he typically plays 22 minutes. Like, that's the average. 17, 23, 24, 21, 23, 22. So he's basically right there at that 22 mark, which I do like. So I like Coulibaly's over today for points. Also, against my typical pick, we're taking the Kevin Durant under. A couple reasons why. One, Wizards play are second in the league in pace, and the Rockets are 29th in pace. So it's kind of crazy when you think about how slow the Rockets play, where Kevin Durant truly can still score this much, but he's phenomenal in the half-court setting, especially in a slower pace. What I do like for this game is KD's assists. He's been a great facilitator recently. I don't know if you watched the Heat game, but man, it was rough because he was passing up so many good looks just to dime other people. So I do like Kevin Durant's overline in this game. Fast pace, Wizards give up a ton. There's like 4 or 5 teams that give up a ton of assists. Even while they play at that fast pace, Wizards are one of those teams. So I do like this line, especially because of a blowout. That's the one concern I do have for this game, is that everyone's going to get blown out. And anytime the Wizards get blown out, which is fairly often, starters don't typically hit their overs. Unless, what game did I watch the other day? I don't even remember what game it was. Good team against a tanking team, and the good team just ran starters the entire game up against these like guys on the depth chart that are like 8 to 12. So unless that happens today, which I don't foresee, then I'd be concerned. But nice break. I do think the Rockets are going to come in hot. But now what does that mean if I think Kevin Durant's going to be under points and facilitate a little bit more? Reed Shepherd and Amen Thompson's lines have slowly gone up. Reed's at a 17.5. What did he close at the other day? A 15.5. So people think Reed Shepherd's going to have a good game tonight, and I am absolutely in that camp. I think the 18 line's a little high, but again, the lines rise for pace as pace increases on teams. Just more shots, more opportunities in general. But here's why I would like Reed Shepherd. He's a trendy guy. Like, even though here he took 21 shots, so he covered the line. But if he doesn't typically cover these lines, he either doesn't get shots up or he shoots the ball horrendously, right? So, like, he really doesn't put up a whole lot of shots up until fairly recently. And in this last game, 5 for 14, 36% shooting. I like almost every time a good shooter and a good scorer to come back and have a good shooting night after they have a funky off night one. 5 of 14, as a former basketball player, like, I'd be hurt. And I know that I would want to score more. So I do like Reed Shepherd's line. I like Amen Thompson's line only because, again, fast pace against the Wizards. Extremely athletic guard. Obviously, we know he gets out in transition extremely well. Plus, he only really shoots layups and dunks. Like, they left him open. I don't know if you watched the Heat game, but they literally let him sit in the middle of that zone and just take mid-range free throw jumpers, and he was bricking them. So it is hard with Thompson because he can't shoot, but in the fast-paced game with the Wizards, I do like him in transition to get out and score. I just do. So if I was picking, I'd probably roll Thompson's over, potentially Reed Shepherd's over as well. The KD under for points, KD's over for assists, and then the Coulibaly over as well. Sengun, I struggle with so hard. Like, literally, I think the only time I've taken Sengun's over happened to be the day he played the Pacers without KD, and he dropped 40. Outside of that, this is absolutely atrocious. atrocious. Atrocious, I tell you. You've had 2 games in your last 12 where you covered that line. 2 out of 12. And Sengun's slow. I don't really like him in this matchup to be putting up points, but in the half-court set, I mean, who's he going up against? I don't even know whose matchup is technically because the Alex Sarr doesn't play. So I don't even know who he's going up against. But, yeah, you just can't bet on Sengun. You can't bet on Sengun confidently. All right, Boston, Milwaukee. I'm venting for 2 seconds. Last night, freaking Jaylen Brown. I picked the 76ers game perfect. We had Maxi's over, Jalen's rebounds, Jalen's points, and who else? I had something else in that game. I don't remember anymore. But, and VJ's over. And boy, did I mess up on not taking a cash out early. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left. Jaylen Brown's at 27 points. I just needed him to cross the 27.5 line. I needed 1 point. And what did he do? Not score a single point. So I did get a little greedy there, and I didn't cash out, all in the hopes for $80 extra. When I should have just cashed that out and taken a lot more than $80. So, sad day. You don't win them all. But because of that, I'm not betting on Jaylen Brown today. I'm too burned out. I can't do it. He was so close. But here's what we are taking today. Potentially, Giannis is playing. Meh. I don't know. I don't put too much stock into Giannis. Giannis coming back today. At a 19.5 line, though, if he does come back, I mean, hey, I'd take that over in a heartbeat. 20 points, you're crazy. But even with restricted minutes, it's just the Giannis's play style. Get to the basket, put pressure in the paint. I don't even care how much paint presence matters. Like, it doesn't matter against Giannis. That's the best part. Whether you're 30th in the league or whether you're top of the league, he's still going to score, which is one thing I do like. If he's not playing today, I really like the Cam Thomas line. I like the Cam Thomas line the other day, too. I always like Cam Thomas's line. It's just hard because he is such a volume, microwave type of player, right? But he has not been shooting the ball well recently. 2 for 10, 3 for 6, 2 for 9, and 3 for 11. Absolutely horrendous shooting splits. Like, atrocious. Ever since he first got in there, because his first game, he dropped 34. Yeah, 12 of 20, 5 of 13. So really since that, first week of him being in Milwaukee, he's kind of struggled since. I like the line just because 10.5. It's a low line coming off of back-to-back. Not opposed to that either. Interesting enough, interesting how Rollins and Kevin Porter's lines have dropped so much the last couple games with Giannis coming in. I mean, what did he close at yesterday? 20.5. So for a 6-point disparity between the two, I would not be upset at you, especially coming off the back-to-back if you took Kevin Porter's over. 4 for 16 yesterday. There's no reason why you can't shoot a little bit better, even if Giannis comes back and get a couple more actual made shots. Ryan Rollins obviously covers the line well, but the thing with Ryan Rollins, I feel like he doesn't shoot as much consistently as Kevin Porter, and he had a better game yesterday shooting split-wise. So if I was to pick my bounce-back player, I'm taking Kevin Porter. I do like the Cam Thomas line, but what line do I love so much? This one, baby. Kuzma's assists. This line was like 4.5. Yeah, look at this line. This line was like 4.5 for a while. 2.5, 3.5, 3.5, 4.5, 3.5. Bro, I love this line. 1.5 for 2 assists. You're a forward. Kuzma gets some decent shots up. And a lot of times, how many times do players have good looks and hit a dump down, hit the extra pass? So I think Kuzma's one of those guys who, with the ball in his hands, he does facilitate fairly well. I like that 1.5 line a ton, even if Giannis is back. And also, a Miles Turner line. Again, even if Giannis comes back, coming off a back-to-back, 3 of 10, horrible shooting night. Your line is so low, you're a starter. I like the line. The only issue is Miles Turner is not that type of player who's an aggressive player. He's not going to sit there and demand the ball, demand his shots. He kind of plays the game, and as it comes to him, it comes to him. So that would be my one concern with this one. Is Miles Turner actually going to get those looks? Is he actually going to get is he actually going to take enough shots? Because here's what kills me with Miles right here. If we shoot under 8 times, we're most likely not hitting that. Like this game is because he got to the free throw line and took threes. If we filter it, if he takes at least 9 shots, an amazing hit rate. So that's the one concern with this line is Miles Turner has to take about 9 shots for us to guarantee this. And in this game, do I think that's 100% possible? Absolutely. But do I think it's realistically what's going to happen? I'm not too sure, but I like the odds coming off of a bad game. 3 of 10, 8 points, even with Giannis getting inserted back into the rotation if he does play tonight. Like if Giannis doesn't play tonight, That's the best part about all these. If Giannis doesn't play and you take a Cam Thomas over, a Kuzma over if you wanted it, a Turner over, even a Kevin Porter over. If Giannis doesn't play, those lines are inflating by 5 to 6 points again, because that's what they all were yesterday. 15.5 or 14.5, 15.5 for Cam Thomas, 19, 20.5 for Kevin Porter and Ryan Rollins. So that would be my one saving grace, is jump on that if Giannis is not playing. But outside of that, I struggle betting on the Celtics. I've just personally never been good at it this year. It's the one team that's killed me. Every time I pick Jaylen Brown, I swear to God, he either just decides to dance on that line for me and get me all excited just to do nothing, or he just crushes the line. I took him on the night of the Hawks game. Yeah, 41. So it's I do struggle with them. And the hard part for me with Jaylen Brown is I don't like high lines like this hardly ever, unless you're in a weird situation like Kawhi Leonard after James Harden got traded. Then he's going to score the ball because they're still trying to make the playoffs. But with Jaylen Brown, they're the 2 seed. He's willed them to the 2 seed. He's averaging, 28 points a game. I just don't like the line. His points are down fairly recent. In the beginning of the year, crushing this up until December, end of December, right? Yeah. It was once December ended, this became so much more 50-50. And because of that, I don't like to gamble on something that's just straight 50-50, that I'm basically guessing on, because I can't tell you based on... Because the issue with Jaylen Brown in particular, too, is it doesn't matter what stats you put. Defensive scoring type, defensive favorites. It literally does not matter. Pace, minutes, field goals. They're all kind of irrelevant towards Jaylen Brown. Sometimes he's... the other night, what did he hit? He covered this line on 12 shots. And then you get a night the night before, 21 shots, 28 shots. So that's the issue, is it really doesn't matter. And there's no true logic I can give you that's if they're playing this type of team and this is the setting, Jaylen Brown does X, Y, Z. No, he kind of just does it regardless of what's going on, which is why I struggle betting on them. Also, Derek White had a great night last night. Seems to be finally turning the corner since February. My goodness, I feel he's had a horrible year. I mean, I say that, that I pull this up, but I don't know. From where he was last year, it feels very night and day different. Very night and day different. And obviously, different team, but whatever. And Peyton Pritchard, too. I struggled to bet on Peyton Pritchard. I would have been horrified last night had I bet on Peyton Pritchard and he took 4 shots and missed them all. I'd have been fucking hurt. So that's my one issue with him, too, is again, he'll just blow up out of nowhere. 12 for 20, 9 for 20, 8 for 15. And then he'll give you a 2 for 9, 11 for 18, 10 for 18, 10 for 14, 2 for 13. So his game is a little inconsistent for me. The one thing I would have to say is I do actually like, weirdly enough, his under on a back-to-back. But the hard part is they're playing Milwaukee, man. Milwaukee sucks. Milwaukee's a horrible basketball team. So it's really hard to gauge what to do there. But bet how you like on that game. But that's kind of what I'm feeling. I like Miles Turner's over, mainly because these lines are just so low. I like Kuzma's assists. I like Cam Thomas's over. And I do like that Kevin Porter line. How in the hell do you go from shoot 4 to 16? I expect a good bounce back tonight. All right, Denver, Utah. Keontae George, we're rocking with Keontae George over today, too. Absolutely covered that line tremendously before his injury. Only had 1 game back from injury, and we were a point away, and he was 4-11 from the field. I know he got to the line a decent amount, but that's what Keontae George does. Look to him to be aggressive tonight, to try and score. I don't really care. A lot of people put stock into who the Nuggets just play. Oh, who the Nuggets just play, I'll tell you. Oh, it was the Thunder. When they played the Thunder, I saw so many analysts they're going to box Shea. They're going to double him. He's going to do nothing. What the? Do nothing? What did he drop on them? I don't even remember what he dropped on them. But, that's right. He dropped 36 on them and didn't even play in the overtime. He dropped 36 points on them and didn't even play in the overtime. If you think Keontae George is half the player that SGA is, or has the potential to be half that, I think he's going to score at least half those points. 17.5. I love this line. We're taking it tonight. I don't give a damn if he's coming back from injury. I always give a 1-game grace if they're coming back from injury, and that would have been the Pelicans game. So 4 days later, look for him to be just play more efficient. I hate Filipowski. I hated him at Duke. I hate him on the Jazz. He sucks. He never grabs rebounds. If he does grab rebounds, they're literally out of nowhere. And you're like, oh, he went from 5 to 16? Filipowski. So we're never touching him ever. Who do I like, though? You guys, if you paid attention, if you watched the videos, I love Ace Bailey's rebounds. I'm not even sure because I didn't like Ace Bailey that much in college. What did he play out? Like Rutgers? I don't even remember. He was not my favorite player. But I like his rebound line. It serves me really well. He's almost always going to get the effort and the minutes. So he's a long guard. He's a tall and long forward. So I always like this line at 4.5. I miss when it used to be a 3.5 line, but we'll take 4.5. I always like it. I would take that in a heartbeat tonight over the Nuggets. Again, Jazz are a pretty damn fast-paced team, but so are the Nuggets. Nuggets are complete opposite. Nuggets play extremely slow. But I do like his opportunity just to get rebounds tonight, especially in transition. Also, what I like is Collier's assists. 8.5's the line. It's been quite a while since he's had this line. Oh, man, I had some math for this one. I don't even remember the math anymore, how I figured it. But I got basically his hit rate to be about like 78% with the filters I had on it. I don't remember anymore. But against the Nuggets, I do like this line. I think he's going to see his minutes. I don't like his points line, really, whatsoever. But I would absolutely take that assist line. Oh, that's one of the things I remember for sure is his damn assist chances. I think it was the Cavs game not too long ago I was watching, and it was just heartbreaking to watch. Because James Harden was just diming people up left and right, and then people were just missing. And look at this. 7 assists is what he finished with, but 21 potential assists. Night before, 11 potential assists. Night before, 16 potential assists and 3. So I think after a night like a 7 assists with 21 potentials, I do see more of the players on the Jazz converting these opportunities. Now, the one thing you could say is a little dicey is because Keontae George is back. Is Keontae George going to solely try to score the ball, or are we going to see kind of the Keontae George of old where he does both and can do it all? So that'd be my one hesitation with taking that assist line for Collier. Plus, his minutes were through the roof for a while there. I believe, was it when George was out? I believe it was when Keontae George was out. My man was playing ridiculous minutes. So his minutes are coming back down, a little more realistic now. 33, 27, 38. Gone are the days of freaking 48-minute Isaiah Collier, which is crazy. He played the whole game straight. Still can't believe that. But that's kind of what I'm liking for the Jazz. The Keontae over, the Ace Bailey rebounds. I hate Filipowski. I think he's going to get demolished by Jokic, so take the under on everything. But weirdly enough, I like Jokic's under as well tonight. I like Jokic to be a facilitator at 10.5. Whenever they play someone who's fast and paced, like check this. So, oh shit, maybe that wasn't it. Oh yeah, this is it. So when they play a team that's slow and pace, this is what his assists look like. Very inconsistent, a lot more half-court sets, just a slower game in general. Now, it's obviously Jokic, so you're going to have your outliers where he can just facilitate the ball with the eyes in the back of his head. But if we are to change the pace to the top half of the league, almost guaranteed. And again, it's just because more possessions. More possessions equals more passes, more shots, more rebound opportunities. Somebody like Jokic who can just heave the ball full court with no issue is absolutely what you like in this scenario. Even though 10.5 is extremely high of a line, coming off a back-to-back, I really like the look. I like Jokic a lot. Jokic is one of the few players where I just don't think I think you could genuinely bet that he's going to have a triple-double every night and do extremely well for yourself. So I just think he's going to carry it tonight. And even his rebound line against the Jazz, the only reason I don't like the rebounds against the Jazz is because, again, just so much more of a fast pace. I don't know how many of these rebounds he's going to really snag right there in the paint. But, hey, you never know. Jokic always surprises me almost every time I watch him play. Outside of that, those are the only big picks we got for this game. I'm not the biggest fan of the matchup, so really just kind of sticking with the people that we typically would roll with and or bet on. Now, Clippers and Warriors. Gosh dang, Clippers and Warriors. Pods. I took Pods assists and rebounds yesterday, which served me well. I'm worried going into the second half because it was at 2 for each. But we covered the line, so shout out to him for covering the line. I'll never take his points because he can't shoot worth shit. I don't even know why he still shoots the ball so much. 4 for 12, 6 for 14, 7 for 18, 7 for 16. Bro, you suck. It's fucking embarrassing how bad you suck. But I like his minutes. He plays plenty of minutes. And I do like him for assists and rebounds, typically. I like his assist line at 4.5. It's not too high. It's not high to where you're like, oh, man, stressing about it. But it's also not low to where it's just free money. But I do like his assist line tonight. Oh, Draymond Green. I like taking Draymond's unders for points. Yeah, he had these couple games where he balled out, but I happened to pick his under for the first time in a while in that Celtics game. Very happy, 0 for 7. But I don't know. Draymond's also 2 hit or miss for me. I do like Draymond rebound line at 5.5. I'd probably take his rebound line over Pods if I was straight If gun to my head, I have to pick someone, it's probably who I'm picking. But I do like that. Like them both. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of this matchup. I like Kawhi's line personally, 27.5, especially coming off a back-to-back. Here's my one logic. Coming off a back-to-back, I know this might seem a little dicey, but context matters here. Back-to-back, they had James Harden. Back-to-back, they had James Harden up until, like, right here. These two games. 9 for 20, but he covered the closing line. This is the thing. It's not about the 27.5. It's about covering the closing line. Maybe it was right here even. But ever since then, he covered the closing line every game since James Harden's been gone off a back-to-back. And that's what I like. Typically, from what I've seen watching the damn Clippers, is they'll pull him. It's like, what did Messi play? 29? Exactly. He almost played, like this first one, 31. He doesn't play over 31 minutes, but then he'll come back next night, play 33, 34, 35. Like, they pulled him in this game with 4 or 5 minutes left in the fourth, and it was close. It wasn't a blowout. It was like an 8-point game. So that's what I like tonight. I do like the pace of both teams, even though the Clippers are... Say what you want about where the Clippers are at right now. I like Kawhi's line. He's probably one of the most bet-friendly, guaranteed superstars, I'd say, in the league that you can consistently put money on. So, I do like Kawhi's line. No James Harden. Benedict Mathurin's been playing a little man recently. You could also say Benedict Mathurin's going to have a bounce back. 2 bad games in a row, 4-14 and 4-13. And truly even covering that line at 7-16 is pretty man. 7-16 back-to-back games. So, he's had one good game. His first game in Los Angeles, 12-22. So, yeah, honestly, wouldn't be surprised if Mathurin had an actually decent game tonight. But John Collins also scores the ball pretty efficiently, pretty consistently. His line's dropped since Mathurin's come down, because you can see it was like 12. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it was just this little period where he was scoring for a while. It rose, but 16.5 seems to be where it peaked. But now we're down to 13.5. I like it. My only issue with John Collins is I just don't like my big guy shooting a lot of threes. He doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but I know he likes to. And so he doesn't seem to have an issue kind of sitting out, hanging out on the three-point line, whereas I want him to just be a little more athletic, get in there, get boards, putbacks, things like that to cover his points, but hey, it's okay. He's still a great player. I like him. Also, Brook Lopez's line, God. I don't know what to do with Brook Lopez either, because it seems like he's so flippy-floppy. 15-5, 15-8, 13-5, 14-0. Like, where's the consistency here? Is Niederhauser even playing? Their backup center, Niederhauser. If his line is still like 3.5, dude, take the Niederhauser line. I actually have no idea if he's even playing right now. He's not popping up here. Let's see. It just tells me right here. It doesn't even show me. But I would not be surprised if he's playing. Because like yesterday, for example, I couldn't find the McCain line anywhere. Jared McCain for the Thunder. And I wanted that line so bad. You know, it's one of my favorite players to bet on. And I couldn't find it, like, at it anywhere. And then at a random, like, even in DraftKings and Bet365, and then it popped up out of the blue, like, at the very end, right before the game started, and I missed it. That's how I feel about Niederhauser. If you can find his line, Brook Lopez's backup, take that in a heartbeat. But those are big picks for today, guys. Nothing too crazy. So, love you all. Make sure to do your own research. Obviously, I'll do as much research as I can and give you guys my own thoughts on things, but make sure to do your own research. Watch the games. Always do your own research before you actually hit the bet button, all right? I've sent out blind bets before. It never does me well, but keep killing the game. Make some extra money, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.